Well, there was a big debate last night in Las Vegas. I was just out on the streets of New York City. Not one single person told me that they saw it. Then I went over to the diner, Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Nobody saw it there.
No one, huh?
Not one
But
person.
all these people are from Pakistan around here. This is New
That
York.
could be it. That could
no
be it.
American citizens within 5 blocks.
What'd you think of last night?
It's impossible to debate with 9 people. You can't, and it's so frustrating. You've got 2 factors that really eliminate any kind of evaluation by the folks of the candidates. Number 1, too many people on stage, and number 2, Donald Trump. He just blows it up. He blows it up.
In a good way or bad way?
How can you debate with somebody who says, I'm beating you 42-3, you're a moron? How do you debate that? What do you come back with?
So when you saw Jeb Bush come back, really for the first time, so if you say you can't debate it, he tried. He did come back with one of the most, I think, powerful moments on social media in terms of reaction.
The chaos president?
You're going to be a chaos president. You can't insult your way to the presidency. What do you think about that?
Well, look, Bush had to try to make a Hail Mary pass. You know what that is.
Yeah.
Your husband's a football player.
And she prays.
But the thing about Bush is you can just read his face and go, how can this possibly be happening? Here I am, scion of a very political family. I know what I'm talking about. I ran Florida effectively for 8 years, and I'm losing. I'm not only losing, I'm getting crushed by this guy.
Right.
So you can see there's a frustration pouring out of him. But it's a different time that Jeb Bush doesn't understand. He doesn't feel it.
But do you know what this reminds the Bush family of?
What?
Ross Perot. I mean, that's the same frustration 41
But
had when he was
different,
running again.
Kilmeade. It's a different time now. People are really angry, really viscerally, emotionally angry. And they're not evaluating political candidates the way they would even 4 years ago. All right? Obama won on emotion. Trump could win on emotion. He could win. And Jeb Bush and a lot of the other candidates don't understand how angry the voters are.
We saw a little of the anger on the stage last night. Here's an interchange between Jeb Bush and Donald Trump. Mr. O'Reilly was just referring to it. Watch this.
So Donald, is great at the one-liners, but he's a chaos candidate, and he'd be a chaos president. He would not be the commander-in-chief we need to keep our country safe. Look, the simple fact is, if you think this is tough and you're not being treated fairly,
this isn't tough and easy.
Imagine what it's going to be like dealing with Putin, or dealing with President Xi, or dealing with the Islamic terrorism that exists. This is a tough business to run for president.
I know you're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is real tough. You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see. I'm at 42 and you're at 3, so far I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
So far I'm doing better. You started off over here, Jeb. You're moving over further and further. Pretty soon you're going to be off the end.
You're a tough guy, O'Reilly.
Well, how do you debate that, though? I mean, look, you got to put yourself in the candidate's shoes. Trump knows what he's doing out there. This is what the pundits don't understand, especially on the left. He says, look, I just want to win this, and then I'll pivot into whether I can do this stuff or not. But from now, I'm going to say I'm going to ban all Muslims. I'm going to throw 12 million aliens out of here. I'm going to do. Because it doesn't matter. The folks want to hear it. And Jeb Bush is sitting there going like this. Well, how do you debate that he's losing 42-4 or whatever it may be? You can't debate it.
Well, I just said he has the big debates that Trump was called out on is, should we kill the terror families, barring all Muslims? That's a big debate. The personal attacks, which continued, and also shutting down the internet around terrorists. He was forced to drill down on those things that he's thrown out there. The question is, you said the people want to hear it and he's resonating. Is it just with Republicans? Do you think there's independents and Democrats that also want to hear it?
Not the Democrats are a whole different deal. They're angry about other stuff. Some independents are gravitating toward Trump, but almost everybody in this country is furious because the country's going to hell. It's going to hell. All right, let's be honest about this.
And this election feels consequential.
On every level, it's going to hell. President Obama is going to go down in history as one of the worst presidents of all time. He's going to be there with James Buchanan and Millard Fillmore.
His approval rating still 43%.
Still? 43% is a disaster. Do you understand?
Bush
He's
was
got
at
minority
36%.
voters who are going to like him no matter what he does. Peel that off, and he's down to 17.
Right.
All right? I mean, fair-minded people gave him a chance. I gave him a chance. It's a disaster.
Well, when it comes to national
agree with
security,
you,
the American
but-
people are not going to give any. They want to have someone in there who's going to keep them safe. I think that's why Chris Christie had a good night last night. National security is top of the mind with the recent attack, with now what happened in Los Angeles. Last night, though, there was a bit of an attack. There was a boo attack on Donald Trump in a moment that I'm not sure many expected when Rand Paul was schooling him on the First Amendment and the Geneva Convention as it pertains to shutting down the internet or sections of it. Watch this.
Is Donald Trump a serious candidate? If you are going to kill the families of terrorists, realize that there's something called the Geneva Convention we're going to have to pull out of. It would defy every norm that is America. So when you ask yourself, whoever you are that think you're going to support Donald Trump, think, do you believe in the Constitution? Are you going to change the Constitution?
So they can kill us, but we can't kill them. That's what you're saying. But we have to. Who would be? I just can't imagine somebody booing. These are people that want to kill us, folks. And you're objecting to us infiltrating their conversations? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Rand Paul had some fans there.
You know, this was a debate I had with Charles Krauthammer last night. All right. Krauthammer is appalled by Donald Trump. He's appalled by him, all right, because he doesn't believe that Trump understands or cares about things like the Constitution. My point is that Trump knows exactly what he's saying, all right, and he just wants to win, and then he's going to get in there like he did last night, and he was nice to all the Republicans at the end, all right? This is how he runs it.
More presidential.
Now, is Donald Trump going to murder people when he's president? No. He's not. But he's going to tell you he is, because that's what people want to hear. Yeah, get them, get them, get them. They don't want to hear pinheaded explanations about the Constitution and stuff like that.
When you started the conversation with us about your analysis of last night, you said there were too many people on the stage.
Yes.
All right. Tell 3 people they need to go home.
I'm not going to tell anybody anything. But if you look at the political landscape, Kennedy versus Nixon, all right, Reagan versus Mondale, these were pivotal points. Ford against Carter, all right? And there was one-on-one, and people could lock in and could listen to what they were saying. You can't listen to 9 people.
We don't have a candidate yet. There's no candidate on the right.
I know, but it's just, I'm not saying that you have to exclude anybody. I'm just saying it's very hard for the voter to lock in.
Who wins on national security on that stage?
Who wins on national security?
Yes.
Christie probably wins, because Christie was involved with national security after 9/11 and had to do it. So if you're just looking at it, he's the guy that's the strongest resume.
So let's talk about killing Reagan for a second. This was one of the debates that Reagan didn't come up as much as it normally did. But during Reagan's time, I went through the Reagan, the Santa Barbara, the Reagan Ranch. There's a whole section there of all the critics on Ronald Reagan, how he was looked down on when he was in office and how ridiculed he was.
Oh, yeah, Sam
and
Donaldson.
and he got raised up after he left, and now he's looked at as iconic.
Look, Ronald Reagan running against Carter in 1980 is almost exactly the same as this election 2016 are going to be. I mean, that's one of the reasons that reading Killing Reagan is important if you care about your country, because we were in a terrible position in 1980. Carter had screwed it up beyond belief in the economy, with Iran, the hostages.
Mortgages were 18%.
It was crazy what was happening. And Reagan walked on the stage to this derisive left wing. He's an actor. He didn't know what he's doing.
And he's crazy.
Right,
He's stupid.
right. And Reagan was a brilliant politician. And then he gets knocked out almost a few weeks after he gets elected by this bullet that almost kills him, and he makes this unbelievable comeback. So the story that I told in Killing Reagan is germane to today in a political sense. Is Trump Reagan? No. Reagan had 8 years of executive experience in California. Reagan was much better versed in the issues. He wasn't running purely on emotion, but he ran a lot on emotion.
Right.
All right.
When he was running for president the first time in 1980, what was the dynamic? There were a bunch of other guys. Was he the clear winner?
Well, it was always about Reagan. He almost beat Ford in '76.
He did.
And they hated each other, Ford and Reagan, especially Betty and Nancy. Oh, man, you don't want to get between them. Anyway, he gets into 80. He has the conservative vote. He wasn't really challenged that much. But when he got in, he almost lost to Carter because he wasn't focused. And then they brought him on in. At the end, he just pummeled Carter because he had the issues on his side. And that's what I was trying to tell Krauthammer last night. Trump basically wants to win, and then he's going to say, all right, this is how I'm going to do it. This is what I'm going to do. But now it's like bomb after bomb after bomb. Remember, when Trump started, he was at 4%. He's at 4%. He had to do this.
Did you realize the price that Trump has paid? He's lost the British Open. He lost to another.
I told him last time.
He lost the Macy's deal. He's lost
They hate him
Universe.
overseas, and the liberal press hates him. And Hillary loves him. Hillary wants to run against Donald Trump because she feels she can beat him handily. I got Trump on the show tonight. I'm going to throw that out to him. Hillary doesn't want to run against Rubio. That's who she does not want to run against. All right. She thinks she can take Cruz. She thinks she can take Trump with the coalition that the Democrats have.
Are you impressed with Rubio?
I think Rubio is a smart guy. I'd like him to be more accessible. I think he's campaigning, and I'm going to tell this right now to the folks, making huge mistakes in the sense that he's not around. Yeah. I mean, I tried to get him on tonight. Can't get him. I can't get him most of the time. I mean, it's like Romney. We couldn't get Romney at the end of the election last time. Where are you? Where are you? Right. You got a little T someplace. It's more important than 6 million people watching you. Yeah. Right. And, wise up, man. You got to introduce Marco Rubio to the folks. They don't know him.
And finally, was it good to see us again in person? Because I know you watch us on TV.
Was it good to be here, you mean?
Yeah.
Was it good to see us again? Was it good to interact?
It was overwhelming, Kilmeade. And I want to say that Kilmeade and I, the one thing I like best is that we're 1-2 on the New York Times bestseller list. Of course, I'm 1. But do you know how that drives them crazy? Do you know how they go nuts to see O'Reilly, Kilmeade 1-2 on their bestseller list?
Let me tell you, those are fabulous books. If you want a glimpse of history and how it actually is a parallel to what's going on.
Which book are you talking about?
Killing Reagan.
No, both books are good.
I'd say both.
I liked his pirate book.
He did.
I liked it.
I love Brian's book.
Yeah.
You want to talk about terror and protecting freedom?
That's right.
So
Look at the way you just.
All right, you guys have a nice Christmas. Because you won't see me again until May. All right.
Until it's paperback.
All right. Until paperback. Right.
Can't wait.